Hi, my name is Kim Mannion. I am a consultant with the Small Business Development Center, and we are putting together some information for prospective buyers of businesses as well as owners who are interested in selling their business. This is kind of an overview of the process. You may not go through all of these steps. They may be in a slightly different order, but this is a general sense of what happens when a buyer wants to sell their business. First, they go through and they need to determine a value for their business, a price that they want to sell their business for. There are a number of different approaches to valuation, and the buyer will determine the best way to do that. It includes the goodwill of the business, the inventory, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and anything else that they want to sell with their business. They're going to want to put a team together of individuals that will help them sell their business. They'll want to understand the tax implications of selling their business, the contracts and letters of intent that might be involved. So they're going to want to involve an attorney and other folks like maybe advisors from the Small Business Development Center and the Center for Businesses in Transition. The buyer is going to make some decisions around whether they want to sell their business anonymously, confidentially, or if they want full disclosure, right? There are pros and cons to selling a business kind of in full disclosure or confidentially. The seller, is then going to put a sell sheet together. This is like a resume for your business. It is a tight, concise 1 or 2 page document that puts the best foot forward of the business, highlights the best strengths and the assets of the business, and provides information. That seller is going to go through a number of different marketing strategies, whether it's online marketing or email, various industry organizations, that kind of thing. The idea is to turn up interested buyers, right? And then those buyers are going to need to be vetted by the seller. Is it someone that is capable of buying the business? Is it someone that's capable of running the business successfully? If they get far enough and they're going to want to start to discuss confidential and more involved information, they're going to need an NDA. That is a non-disclosure agreement. It is going to be a mutual non-disclosure because the seller is going to reveal delicate and sensitive information about their business. Similarly, the buyer is going to be asked to share information about their ability to buy the business. So financial information and potentially a personal financial statement. The buyer is going through an initial evaluation, which then evolves into a due diligence, but that's just a dive into the finances of the business and a look at the different aspects of the business. Is this a business that I am truly interested in buying and really trying to understand that? The buyer is then going to make a decision if they want to put an offer in. And the formal way of doing that is through a letter of intent. And the buyer submits to the seller of a letter of intent, which outlines the terms, whether or not the buyer is asking the seller to provide some seller financing, that kind of thing. There's often negotiation that goes on at that step. The buyer then goes into a much deeper dive into the business and wants to know kind of everything there is to know about that business. And is it a good fit for them? Is it a business that they can take to the next level? Are there opportunities that they can capitalize on, et cetera? And there's often negotiation that goes on at that step as well. And it's very often that it's at this point, and it may have happened sooner, but the buyer and seller together are going to look at financing the purchase, and whether the seller is going to what we call hold paper, that is seller financing, whether they're going to be able to get bank financing. There are a number of different ways that a purchase can be financed, and the buyer is going to start to explore those. Eventually, you'll end up into a contract. There may be contingencies with that contract around financing, right? That you may have a contract, but it may be contingent upon the buyer being able to get financing. And then eventually you're going to get where you execute a purchase and sale agreement, and then you've sold your business. And that's a really exciting time for a seller and a buyer. So that, in a nutshell, is the process of buying and/or selling a business.